Welcome back to Papa Z's Bees. We're going to check the other hive to see if it has swarmed and what they're running into. So we have pretty much the same task list as we did for the corner hive, but I think we're going to have some different results. But the plan was to go into it to do this as the tasks, and so we'll start just like we did with the other one. And first thing we'll do is we'll take the hive apart, just like we do. This one already had the feeder shim removed the last time I inspected them. Taking this one apart is not any different than anything we've ever done, so this won't take long. Right now, what I'm seeing here is just pretty much like what we saw the last time. Lots of bees, and in this grocery store for the bees, it's medium super is pretty much full. As we go through some of the frames here, we'll look and see verify that, but it's hard to get them out. They're so heavy. But you work on them, and eventually you get them out. They're all still kind of stuck down. The bees use propolis to stick things together and down. So I'm going to go through this a little bit. I'm not going to go through all of them because I think we're going to tell pretty quickly, since this end frame, the outside frame here, has honey on it, just like the other one. If you've got honey on the outside, you for sure got honey on the inside. That one did have a little bit of nectar on the bottom. If you'll notice, it wasn't all capped. You can see there we're looking at some open cells which have nectar in them, but that are not fully turned into honey yet. There's still some dehydration to do to it. Got a big old drone, boy. There's lots of drones up there. I've seen drones coming in and out of this hive for quite a while. So that's one of the things you kind of look for when you talk about swarming is lots of drones. And there were both drones in this hive as well as the corner hive. We'd gotten into this hive after we got into the corner hive the last time, so that's the reason the feeder shim was already off. I can tell by looking at it that it's full, so there's no reason to go any deeper in it. They got plenty of food, which is great. So now we just got to take it apart like we normally do, and check and see what's down in the brood area. That's the thing I'm interested in. So I use these little handles here that are Be Smart Designs plastic handles, which makes it kind of nice. You can slide them off and on, and makes it easier to carry some of this stuff, especially when it's heavy. This is another super was quite heavy.
I don't believe these have swarmed. There's just too many bees in here. Lots of drone brood over here. Pretty good brood pattern here, which is good. So we've got a laying queen. Pollen in here, but they're filling these frames with nectar, so there's some pollen. larvae in here, so that's, we've got a laying queen. Lots of brood here. So these have already either swarmed and lots of pollen in here. They may have already either swarmed or lots of nice brood. And pollen. So this is different than the other hive because so far I haven't seen any swarm cells. So that leads me to believe that they either already swarmed or they're not going to swarm, and since there are no even cups, I'm beginning to believe that they're not going to swarm. And she's bringing in pollen here. You can see that, but this worker's got pollen coming in. So they're stuffing pollen, and there's a lot of really nice brood there. So same thing here. Lots of brood, lots of pollen. So look for the queen, but I'm not seeing her. Make sure there's no cups. Nope. Just so many bees. Drone cells over here, which is what I would expect, and no queen cups or cells. This is one of those cells that are frames that's it's not no foundation. Foundation is frame. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing. No, no signs of any swarm cells or cups. I think they're probably ready for a super, so I'll put that on later.
Okay, back. I wanted to have that live audio there because I wanted you to be able to hear exactly what was going on in my brain when we were doing that inspection and seeing what we found that was so much different than what we found in the other hive. So we're going to start putting this thing back together. Just as pretty much normal what we do. No change here. Just put the medium super on, which is again their grocery store. I've got to smoke them here to get this thing out of the way, so I can put the cover back on. There's so many bees in there that I really feel like I needed to put the honey super on there because there just was not much room left for her to lay because she had laid so much already. So I'm gonna put the cover on here just for a little bit, and then I'm gonna go get the um, the honey flow super and put it on. Again, having to smoke these ladies out of the way so I don't crush any more of them than I have to. So a little bit later, right now I go get the honey flow, get that heavy jacket off, and come back and install the honey super. Look at all the bees still hanging around on the outside. So remove that inner cover back off, and then I've got the honey super, the flow frame, and when we harvest with the flow super, we'll do a couple of videos on that because that is such an interesting thing to see. Is the honey flow supers in work. It's easy to harvest and easier on the bees than the normal harvesting method, but you really have to do everything else that any other standard normal beekeeper does. You've got to inspect and take good care of the bees, but the flow supers just make it really nice and easy to be able to harvest the honey. Get it back together here. Now we're gonna I'm changing the entrance here down a little bit. The entrance is the whole width of that bottom board thing there that you see, and that's just a little bit too much area for them to have to manage as far as who comes in and out. Yellow jackets, uh, other bees, things like that. This will prevent them from having to manage such a wide opening. Take that Be Smart Designs handle off. That's really a nice thing to be able to have those handles, put them on when you need them, take them off quickly when you don't. Now I'm going to put the shade back on it, the cover, and got to get some smoke because there's bees all over the area there where this thing is going to attach. So I go get some smoke and smoke them up here a little bit, move them out of the way. That smoke doesn't hurt them. It just kind of says, danger, get out of the way. And there we go. Got that shade back on. That keeps the rain out and a little bit of sun. Well, this was interesting because of what we didn't find, cups and cells, but it was interesting, but it's not as interesting in a different way than the other hives. So hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you'll subscribe and tell others, and need to see how fun it is to take care of bees. Thanks for watching.